Namaskar, good morning everyone. Esteemed Secretary Sir, who is always very helpful, speaks less but believe in what work has to be done. My dear colleague, Chairman Airport Authority of India, who has been good friend, and I hope that a lot of things which are happening in Odisha will get his support. Mr. Atre, who is part of the jury and also had put a lot of efforts to make sure that everybody gets a chance to be in the awardee list. And very importantly, my dear mentor and incredible ambassador for women in aviation, Mrs. Radha Bhatia ji. Many of my colleagues who are from department and industry, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege for me, very humbling experience for me to stand here and talking to you. I'm also thankful to Bhatia ji for calling me here because I could meet a lot of my old friends, whether it is Vidya, Amber, Harpreet, I can name many of them. After a very long time, I'm meeting them. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that the distinguished group who are here will always inspire us, and I'm sure that I'll be getting back more than what I'll be giving it today here. In 2015, I joined Ministry of Civil Aviation on deputation from Government of Odisha. Before that, I had around 20 years of experience working in the state. That was my first stint in the ministry. Mr. Chaube, the then secretary, is not here, but my heartfelt thanks to him. I never knew how to work in Government of India. Forget about aviation, because aviation is a central subject. State, you don't get any experience in the aviation. I came here and I was completely lost. And I'm standing here after so many years attaching to that sector. That's why I want to share this experience. Unless you link some purpose to your job, will not be able to do the justice. I did not know what is the purpose, because people who were coming and meeting were in suit, very well dressed. And before that, 20 years I had worked in very interior pockets. Odisha is a tribal-dominated society also. So for me, what I was doing, I was getting that much of satisfaction because it was affecting the poorest of poor. We were able to see the changes. We feel that, like what they call kick in the life. So every time you do something good, you will be always feeling elated. So here I came, I thought why I am needed in the ministry. I asked how many aircraft, around 400 aircraft they said. I said for 400 aircraft, why we require 4,000 people? So then gradually I started understanding, and I was very, very lucky that time the policy formulation was happening. Amber was on the other side that time. So the way the policy was thought through and it was brought in as a national document, so I understood how important this industry for India to build itself as a global leader. So we can't be left alone. So that is how, and it is not that we are only serving to the elite class or some people who have the resources. It was also for giving wings to those people who were very highly aspirational, expect that the country should give equal opportunity to them. So the benefit of aviation, whatever you call, whether it is an efficient mode of transportation or whatever, so that efficiency which is available to some section of the people, whether that can be available to everyone. So we were very lucky that we were part of Uday Desh Ka Aam Nagarik, which was a vision of Honorable Prime Minister. So we could see that in a small airport when we go and we start and commence the operations. So the faces used to be lit up. They may not travel by air at any point of time, but the aspiration that their city has the air connectivity, the city has the airport itself may become a very, very, higher point where they would gravitate around that and try to bring the prosperity to the city. And there have been a lot of movement. I can say that economically, socially, and culturally, how they have been, the aviation ecosystem has been helping some of the cities in the country now. And second, which made me motivated to continue in this sector for some time, was about the feeling you have when you fly. And that is one thing which makes you feel conquering everything. You are literally on the top of the world. So all of us have been very, very lucky being a part of this journey. So I'm sure that all the distinguished guests who are sitting here, they want to contribute the same thing so that the young talents who are there, especially the girls who wants to come into the sector and do a lot. When we think of, if in aviation sector can embrace a person who has no experience but standing here and talking to you, we can all do a bit of ourselves in this sector. And the learning curve which we have passed through may not be required for many. And all of us, if you have a story to share, and most of us will have somebody to inspire us, somebody had a role model and we had seen somebody and we have taken this path. So all of those people who are here, they are role models and they are trying to make sure that the young girls who are there, who have some dream to come to the aviation sector, it will be a great, great opportunity. And I really congratulate and compliment the women's services the Women in Aviation is doing for all of such girls. As my colleague Vipin mentioned, that aviation is not only one part of it. Traditionally, we see that cabin crew are the, that is what the very glamorous thing which is visible, so everybody looks up to that. Second is about pilots who are in the cockpit with uniform. They feel such a sense of pride among all of us, and India being the leader, 15%. But the Sector Skill Council of Aviation has identified hundreds of roles which it can happen. It's not only starts with the airport ecosystem, where you can think of being a part of the ground handling sector, or you can become the flight instructor. Some of my DGCA friends are also here who are pilots and then move to as a professionals. Then we have outside the airport ecosystem, you can be the engineers, you can be the researchers, you can be part of various aspects which are involved in the aviation. I remember one thing, and I always say, I don't know who has the copyright, but I will keep it for myself for some time. When an aircraft flies in the air, there are hundreds, thousands of people who are behind that one aircraft which makes it fly. So all those jobs which are there are waiting for us. So as I said in my case, maybe many times in profound way we see some of the opportunities don't come to us, or we don't choose them, but they choose us. So maybe hundreds and thousands of opportunities are waiting to choose some of our girls, for who only we have to just give them a leeway so that they can actually be seen by these opportunities. So here I would like to say one or two things which can be which are doable things. One, after this I went to Government of Odisha, because as All India Services we work with the state also. So believe me, a lot of things we miss in the state, that they are also, when India is going into that Vikasit Bharat level, so every state has become a development engine themselves. There is so much of vibrancy in the state, and where you can bring lot of efforts in the cutting edge level happens at the state. So maybe whether it is a skill development where a lot of resources are moving towards that, whether we agree or not, employment is going to be a bigger issue in India when we go ahead and we may become 5 trillion and in 2047, 30 trillion economy. So employment and skilling, employability, competence are going to be the most important aspects for our youth. So aviation sector, we can very well link with the various programs at the state level, of course at the central level, and taking this message to the people, the 50% of the people who are normally not looking at those things. So they can be sensitized to select these things. And whether, again I'll say this, whether we like or not, we may do hundreds of things, build the infrastructure, build the airports, build a lot of industries, build a lot of GDP, but everything if you do, still India will become Vikasit Bharat only when women participation increase in the economy. Unless it is done, we will not be able to say that we are a developed country. So after all, there are 50% of the people who are very talented. And again, I'm saying this is not an issue of rights. I mean, we are not talking of women rights, that which has to be done. Yes, it is, because they have to be given equal opportunity. But this is good for the industry. This is what the economy requires. So in those ways, I mean, like I always say that it's like a double dividend. Like you are addressing the issue of right, at the same time you are addressing the issue of the industry or the economy. So it's like a right way to go, rather than just for the sort of getting the women into that position because of whatever ideology we have. That's not so. So I will not say much, but there are a lot of women who are awardees today. So I compliment them, and before leaving I would be allowed to say, sir, because as a women, most of the questions are very stereotyped. So I need to address those, because they are the people who have broken the barriers, and they have shattered the stereotypes. So I need to tell them. So it is also for men. When I say that when aircraft has to fly, a lot of things, people have to work. So if women have to go to the economy and contribute, and especially aviation, so a lot of support is required, including those men who are supporting women. I mean, it is very, very important. Some time back, I was reading some paper, don't take me otherwise, like unless a spouse or this, I mean, it is related to the men. If a man is not supremely supportive of women, they will not be able to achieve. They will not be able to have everything together. So there have been questions, can women have it all? Most of the time, even I say, they cannot have it all together. They can have it to the maximum level if there are men in their life who are very supremely supporting to the women. So then only it is possible. Otherwise, they have to make a lot of compromise in between. And a lot of contradictions happen when they rise in the career. So many people we see, I mean, ministry, it was not a problem because Mr. Chaubey had the luxury of taking FA, joint secretaries, we could be women. But always I used to say, I don't know whether Amber has heard this anecdote or not, and Chaubey actually pardoned me for saying so. When he was saying that, okay, all of you are women and you are making me sidelined, I used to tell, sir, I don't mind, like women this side, but I want a women to be on the other side. So I used to show his chair and say that, okay, women has to be on the chair. But it was taken in a very lighter sense, so that's why, I'm sure that I have got a good ACR in spite of that. So again, once again, there will be hundreds of judgmental things. So it is in general, all of us we work. Though you are a little bit mild, then they say you are very meek, but still you be mild. If you become a little aggressive, they say you are very bossy, but be still bossy. Because what you feel right in your heart, please do it. Like Hindi famous Rajesh Khanna song said that, "Kuch to log kahenge." लोगों का काम है कहना. So please do fly, please do what you want to do, and make sure that whatever opportunity we have got, we'll take that opportunity to the people. For them, it may be life-changing. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Jai Hind.